grandma. Yeah, on a laptop. Ooh. What's God? 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 These guys know sports. Yeah. These guys know sports. These guys know.
And you know when you hear that music, you join the Wise Guys crew right here live on the Worldwide Sports Network. Everybody remember going to follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_8. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram with These Guys Know Sports. Mr. Nixon, what's up?
Man, how you doing today, man? I'm excited today, man.
I'm excited too, man. How's the day going, bro?
Oh, it's going well, man. Just been resting, you know, get ready for the show, man. Gotta eat breakfast and lunch. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited, man.
When you feel good, you come on air and you perform good. You got to bring your A game when you talking sports with me. You got to bring your A game when you talking sports with me.
Definitely.
For sure. But we got a big time show ahead. We're going to have a guest appearance from the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast. Our guy, Big Baby Jonathan, going to be joining us here live here in a bit. We also going to talk about later on in the show, Richard Jefferson saying he thinks that Tim Duncan, he's on the fringe as to whether or not he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Also going to talk about John Morant, and he apologizes for his anti-Twitter post. But first, Clarence, we got to start off in the NFL. As you know, Sunday night, the New England Patriots signed Cam Newton to a one-year deal. So Cam Newton is going to be joining Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, and Robert Kraft in New England. So basically, Cam Newton will be the successor to Tom Brady. And I saw on Facebook earlier, Clarence, that you believe that the Bills are the favorites in the AFC East. But Pro Football Focus disagrees with you. Pro Football Focus, they predict that Cam single-handedly will give the Patriots the edge in the AFC East. So we start off in New England with Cam Newton. Do you believe Cam can lead the Patriots to another division title, or are you riding this Buffalo Bills train?
Man, listen. Look, I love Cam. I respect him. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
I love Cam. I respect Cam. I appreciate what he did to the NFL. He is amazing. I'm talking to a three-time NFL Pro Bowler, 2015 NFL MVP. I respect him. But I still believe the Buffalo Bills are the biggest threat in the AFC East. Let me tell you why. They're loaded on both sides of the ball. They got a young, intriguing quarterback in Josh Allen, and now they bringing on Stephon Diggs that he was lacking of deep threats and deep passes. He got a number one receiver. I still believe that this is a lock. How do you even know, Trey? How do you even know the Patriots? It's still the same Patriots from last year. People say it's a down year. But look, this is the whole different year. They lost a lot of key players on defense. And now ever since Cam Newton came, he gave them the slight edge. Just a second ago, the Caesars betting board, they had them winning 9 games. And I still believe they win to go win 9 games. I don't think they're the best team in the AFC East. I still believe in Buffalo Bills, man. I can't put all my trust in Cam yet. He first got to win the starting job against Jarrett Stidham. That's the first job he got to do.
Jarrett Stidham?
Yes.
Jarrett Stidham?
He has to win the starting job over Jarrett Stidham to improve us that he can play at this elite level, even though he's been injured for 2 years, man. I'm not sold on it yet, man.
Oh, stop it. You need to stop. You crazy if you actually believe. You ridiculous if you believe that Jarrett Stidham is going to get the starting quarterback job for the New England Patriots. You don't really believe that, do you?
Many NFL GMs, they love the fact that Cam Newton came in, but they still believe Jarrett Stidham can make a bigger leap. And look, Cam is an awesome guy. He is. He's an awesome guy. I like his personality. It's different. Like, But let's just be real, man. Like he's going into that stage of football that, hey, you either a backup at best, or if somebody get injured, you stepping in, or you just gonna work your butt off in the NFL, or for the Patriots to get the starting gig. But I'm just saying it. I'm not sold, Trey. I'm not sold.
Okay, you spoke. We've heard from you enough. It's time for you to hush up for a bit and learn some football knowledge. Let me school you on why the New England Patriots are still the team to beat in the AFC East. First off, let's start off with those Buffalo Bills that you're talking about. The Buffalo Bills last year, they made strides and they made the playoffs. I like Sean McDermott as a head coach, and he's done a good job improving this football team. I also think Josh Allen has tremendous upside, but he's young, Clarence, and you've seen how he was rattled in that playoff game last year against Deshaun Watson in the Houston Texans. The Buffalo Bills really should have won that game, but Josh Allen was rattled late in that game. He's young. He still has a lot to prove. He still has a lot to improve on. If Josh Allen could get anywhere close to the type of player that Cam Newton is, maybe the Buffalo Bills can have some success in the AFC East. But he still has a lot to prove, and we'll see how he progresses throughout the years moving forward. I like the Buffalo Bills defense a lot. I think they really improved last year, and they won a lot of football games because their defense was tremendous last season. They have a great secondary. I love their secondary with the Buffalo Bills. But taking everything in consideration, am I going to pick Sean McDermott and Josh Allen over Cam Newton and Bill Belichick? I think not. Let's get to the New York Football Jets. I already told you I don't believe in Adam Gase. I pretty much say it religiously on every show that we have. I have no faith in Adam Gase as a head coach, and I think the Jets are making a mistake by not paying Jamal Adams. I still got questions about Sam Darnold. We'll see what happens. Last year, he ended up missing a few games because he had a kissing disease. I'm not so sure if Sam Darnold has the heart that's going to be necessary for a quarterback to take the Jets to the next level. We'll see what happens with him. Hold on. Let's get to those Miami Dolphins down there in South Beach. I like Tua Tagovailoa. I like Tua a lot. And I told you, I think Tua is going to have a better career than Joe Burrow. But we're talking about the short term. We're talking about the 2020 season. I don't even believe Tua is going to start the year for the Miami Dolphins. I think it's going to be Ryan Tannehill. I like Brian Flores as a head coach because the Dolphins made some strides last year as well, and they beat the Patriots last season in Foxborough in a game the Patriots needed. But do I believe that Brian Flores and Ryan Fitzpatrick and Tua is going to be enough to outcoach Bill Belichick in a big moment in a regular season game? I do not. Therefore, I believe Cam Newton and Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots are still the favorites in the AFC East, and I'm expecting big things from Cam Newton and that defense of the New England Patriots.
I just don't agree with you, man. I just don't agree with you. Listen, this AFC East, the whole thing is changing. Brady is not in the league no more. This is putting Belichick to the test to see can he still compete in the AFC East. I mean, they won 11 division titles. Yeah, that's a pretty big number. But think about it. Josh Allen, Josh Allen's his third year in his quarterback development. He in his third year in the NFL. Now he got a number one receiver in Stephon Diggs, which I think is a top 10 receiver. I truly believe that he's going to play better. They are already a good team to be, not the team to beat. I just don't. I'm not sold on Cam yet. I'm not really sold on him yet.
You're not sold on Cam yet. Cam is proven. What has Josh Allen proven?
He's been injured for 2 years. Look, this was the same argument when you were saying you would take Devontae Adams over AJ Green. AJ Green been injured for what 2 years? And you're taking a risk on Cam. You're taking a risk on Cam, man. Like,
listen, the last time. Here's the thing, though. I told you this. The last time we seen Cam Newton healthy in 2018, when he was for the Carolina Panthers quarterback, this was his statistical numbers. This was before the TJ Watt hit in the game against the Steelers. This was before that hit, before he got injured. Cam Newton had completion percentage of 70%, total yards per game, 283, touchdown to interception ratio, 22-7, passer rating, 103, rushing touchdowns, 4. This was before the TJ Watt hit that injured Cam's shoulder. He hasn't been healthy since 2018, Clarence. Don't disrespect the great Cam Newton. Yeah, I said great because he's had some moments. Hold on. He had some moments in his career where he's been great. Do I think he's a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer? I do not. He still has something to prove. But make no mistake about it. Cam Newton's gotten the Panthers to a Super Bowl, and he's been the best player in Carolina Panther history. And I'm pissed off because the Panthers organization, they disrespected the hell out of Cam Newton. Last week on Twitter, they put up a poll question, and they asked who's the best player in Panther history. They had Luke Kuechly, Steve Smith, and Julius Peppers. They didn't even have Cam Newton as a candidate as to one of the best players in Panther history. The disrespect that y'all aiming in the direction of an NFL MVP, a player that got his team to the Super Bowl. And now you up here disrespecting Cam Newton, talking about Josh Allen. Josh Allen can't sniff Cam Newton's shoes, and he's not even over near the level of Cam Newton is if he helps. If Cam is healthy, the Patriots win the AFC. If Cam is healthy, the Patriots win the AFC East. Going away.
At this point, Josh Allen is better than Cam Newton, man. At this point, he's showing progressive. He's showing progressive.
What? He's better than Cam Newton?
Buffalo is going to take this AFC East. They are loaded on both sides of the ball. Merely a top 5 defense and a strong run game. Now you add in a deep threat in Stephon Diggs. That is pretty dangerous. And Sean McDermott is building a great foundation in Buffalo. I'm telling you, can think I'm crazy or not, but at this point, I'm taking Josh Allen over Cam Newton. At this point, man,
I think the Buffalo Bills are the second best team in the AFC East. I think the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, they will fight for that top spot in the AFC East all season long. But I think ultimately, when we get late in December, I believe the New England Patriots and Cam Newton will propel and will win the AFC East. I think they'll win the AFC East winning 10 games. I think the Patriots finish the season at 10-6, and I think the Buffalo Bills finish somewhere between 8-8 and 9-7. I think the Buffalo. Yeah, no, that's how I look at it. I think the Buffalo.
That's ridiculous, bro.
That's not ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Last year was a down year. Last year was a down year for the Patriots, right? It was a down year for the Patriots and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They finished 12-4. The Buffalo Bills didn't even win the division last year.
It's still considered as an elite quarterback in the league, man. Like Tom Brady is still considered an elite quarterback in the league, regardless of how you describe him or not. And let's just be honest here, man. Cam Newton is going to a situation that one, his receivers is always injured. 2, the running game is solid. And 3, the defense lost key parts on that team that they might end up struggling again. At this point, man, Buffalo has a great secondary, a good front seven, a great young front seven in the front that's very disruptive, that you're not giving credit for. It's ridiculous that you keep thinking the Pats is going 10-6. Really?
Yes.
They barely probably can get 7 or 8 wins. I got them 9-7, man. Buffalo winning that division, man.
The type of coach that Bill Belichick is, he's arguably the greatest coach in NFL history. Bill Belichick alone will have the Patriots at 500. They'll be 8-8 without Cam Newton. The fact that you added Cam Newton, I believe Cam Newton increases your winning by at least 2 or 3 games. I think Cam Newton can get you to 10-6 and at the top of the AFC East. Do I think they can compete with the Ravens and the Chiefs? I do not. But I do believe they'll be the best team in the AFC East, and I think they'll get an opportunity to host a home playoff game, and we'll see what happens from there. Listen, defensively, we already know how great the Patriots are. You got Stephon Gilmore, one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL. You got Jason McCourty as well, Patrick Chung, you know what I mean, Brandon Copeland. Defensively, they one of the top defenses we have in the National Football League. If you can have a consistent running game with Cam Newton and Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick can put together a game plan to where you can have Cam Newton throw the ball down the field effectively and not turn the ball over, I think the Patriots can win the AFC East, and I think they'll be fighting with the Buffalo Bills throughout the season. But as we get later in the season, I trust Bill Belichick more than I trust Sean McDermott.
You know, I'm gonna just say this, and then we're just gonna move on. They actually play the Buffalo Bills on the Monday night in New England. So that's gonna be very important because that game is gonna basically go down to the stretch who can win the whole division, in my opinion. Because I see those two as coming up fighting for the top of the division. The Jets, they're building a nice foundation, but they're not ready. And for Miami, they got a few years back. But for Buffalo, this is it's open for them to get it, and I feel like they realize deserve to win this division because they're the most talented team in that division as we speak, man. As we speak,
I'm not taking nothing away from Buffalo. I just think here's what I believe too. I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna move on to the next topic. I believe this offense for the New England Patriots actually it fits Cam Newton's skill set more so than it fit Tom Brady's skill set because they don't have no elite receivers. Julian Edelman is the best receiver on this team, and Julian Edelman is not a number one option at receiver. He's a slot receiver, and he's pretty good at it, but he's not a number one option at receiver like Odell or Stephon Diggs or Julio Jones or Michael Thomas. That's not who Julian Edelman is. But I believe them having the running backs that they have on this team, like Sony Michel, James White, I think if you can incorporate them in this running game with Cam Newton, I believe the Patriots offense can have some success. Do I think they're going to light up the scoreboard and score over 30 points per game? I do not. But I think they can win football games in a range of 21-17, 20-17, or 20 here and there, 24-13. That's how I look at this Patriots offense, and that's what I believe Cam Newton will bring to the offense as well. That's why I think they'll win the AFC East. But let's real quick. I got one more question for you before we move on and bring Jonathan in here. Richard Sherman, he says the size of Cam Newton's contract is, quote, disgusting. Does Richard Sherman have a point? He feels like Cam Newton's contract is utterly ridiculous and is very, very low salary. Does he have a point here, Richard Sherman?
Okay, two things. One, Cam Newton, he can earn up to 7.5 in incentives with this contract. And two, this is probably a 1 year prove it deal. This deal they can work on if he does good in this season, as you stated. This can work on to a future contract. This looks more like a Ryan Tannehill situation, but it's not because he didn't get traded. But he's walking into a whole new situation where he can make a lot of money by having successful in the season. Now, for Richard Sherman, he stated it's disgusting because the salary was what $1.1 million, the same as Jameson Wilson for the Saints. He feels like that these black players are still more value than what their contract is paying, which I agree with him at that. I do agree with him at that, but at the same time, it's business. If it's you and your agent, y'all work out the deal, y'all work the deal out, and y'all come up with the best number. If you feel like you and your agent feel like this is the best number, y'all go with it, man. For me, in my personal opinion.
Do you agree? Did you agree with Sherman? Yes or no? Did you agree with him? Did you agree with him?
Yeah, I did agree when I say yeah. I mean,
okay. I agree with Richard Sherman as well. I'm gonna name you two quarterbacks that's either getting paid the equivalent or more than Cam Newton right now. Chase Daniels is getting paid more than Cam Newton right now. Brian Hoyer, who is going to be the backup to Cam Newton here in a few months, he's getting paid the same amount as Cam Newton is. Listen to this. The Patriots just got fined by the NFL, Clarence. And guess what? That fine that they have to pay is more than Cam Newton's salary. That's ridiculous. I completely agree with Richard Sherman here. But here's the thing that happened. The Patriots had all the leverage when they negotiated this contract with Cam Newton because no other team wanted Cam Newton's services right now because teams have went through their drafting process. They've went through their free agency process. And that's why I told you on last week's show, the Carolina Panthers, they did a disservice to Cam Newton by releasing him so late. Devin Tepper, the owner for the Carolina Panthers, and Matt Rule. I'm calling you out today on Wise Guy Sports on the Worldwide Sports Network. Y'all did a disservice to Cam Newton. They knew when Matt Rule got hired, they knew they didn't want Cam Newton back on the Carolina Panthers. They should have released Cam Newton immediately and gave him the opportunity to explore in free agency, not release him in late March and have him come late to the free agency party. It's unfortunate, and that's the reason why Cam Newton's contract is utterly ridiculous and it's disgusting, just like Richard Sherman alluded to.
Yeah, like it is disgusting that with Carolina, if you knew you was about to move on, you immediately like release him because at the same time, man, definitely.
Yeah. So, but let's move on. Everybody go and follow Wise Guys on Twitter at wiseguys_h. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram with These Guys Know Sports. We are going to bring in our guests here on the show today on the Wise Guys Sports Network and Worldwide Sports Network as well. We're going to bring in Big Baby Jonathan from the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast. We welcome Jonathan to the Wise Guys Show. Jonathan, what's up, bro?
Man, what's going on, Don?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, man,
Yes,
how you doing, man? How's that beautiful weather out there in LA, man?
Sunny, hot, and sunny and hot, man. That's why I'm staying in the house because it's so hot out there.
Oh yeah, I see you got your Lakers banner up there.
Yeah,
definitely is, Jonathan. So, Jonathan, we know you're an NBA guy. Let's get into some NBA. With the NBA season resuming in Orlando in a bubble come late July, what's your expectations for the NBA restart? And do you think we will ultimately complete the season?
My expectations, I feel like for the season to resume, I feel like it's going to be competitive, and this championship for anybody in this bubble is going to be tough, you know. And for my Lakers, my expectation is to finish the season and with the championship. That's my expectations: championship or bust out of this bubble.
Well, hold on, real quick, Jonathan. Real quick before we get into the Lakers, do you actually believe that we're going to get a chance to finish the NBA season?
Yes, I do. I think we'll finish the season. In my opinion. What about you?
What about you? I believe we is. I believe we gonna finish this season. These 8 games will probably go fly through in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Now, Big Bay, man. Now, I wanted to ask you. Now, you know, LeBron James has signed there for 4 years, and I know I've been happy. Everybody's happy that he's went to LA. How important is for him to bring a title to LA?
It's very important because if he doesn't bring a championship to LA, he'll be the second player in NBA Laker history without winning the championship. Elgin Baylor didn't win the championship with the Lakers. So LeBron does not win the championship. A lot of Laker fans will never forgive him for coming to LA.
Yeah.
For coming to LA, we don't win the championship. We're all about championship. You see that behind me? We're all about that. We ain't all about, we make the playoffs, we improve. Nope. If we don't win a ring, it's a bust season. You know, that's our motto.
Yeah.
Okay,
you know?
okay. You kind of already talked about it then, Jonathan. I was going to ask you a question about LeBron James, but Clarence asked it first, and you kind of elaborated. But let's specifically talk about LeBron James and him as a player. Let's assume that the season does resume and we have a season. And do you believe that LeBron James still has something to prove as far as legacy goes? Or do you believe LeBron James' legacy is already cemented as being one of the all-time NBA greats?
I think LeBron still has something to prove to the haters like Skip Bayless. People on ESPN, everybody doubts LeBron. They keep bringing up the 3-6 in the finals. He's not clutch. He's not this, but he did take over when he's with the Cavs against Detroit, hits big shots against Orlando to win the game. So he still has that clutch gene. People just like to nitpick. He turned the ball over in crunch time. So LeBron's legacy is not going to be determined, in my opinion. His legacy is already great, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely his legacy is
just
great.
Like this shirt right here.
I like the shirt. And LeBron, yeah, like I told you, he's already a great player. And him coming to LA, that's like a bigger task when you go to LA because they expect championships and not just bust seasons, man. Definitely.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question real quick, Jonathan. So let me get this straight. You are a LeBron fan, correct?
Nope. Kobe Bryant fan. Kobe.
Okay, Kobe. Okay, we're going to get to Kobe here in a bit. Okay, so you're not a LeBron fan. I want to get that out the way. But okay, here's my thing for you, Jonathan. I want to ask you a question because you know Avery Bradley decided to not go back to Orlando and join the NBA when the NBA resumes in late July because of some family things he got going on and so forth. So therefore, the Lakers signed J.R. Smith. It was announced today. It's official. J.R. Smith is now part of the Los Angeles Lakers. So what's your expectations for J.R. Smith, and how do you believe the Lakers should handle the dynamic between having J.R. Smith and KCP and Danny Green? Who do you believe should get the bulk of the minutes between those three players?
Let him compete for it in training camp. Danny Green, KCP, J.R. Smith, and we got Deion Waiters too. So it's going to be competitive. You know, I feel like the J.R. Smith signing, it's good. I like it. And LeBron, every time he assists it to J.R. Smith, he shoots 49% from the three-point line. So that's a plus. And we have a stat. Lakers have a stat. They're 13-1 without Avery Bradley. So it's going to be a tough loss, but we just got to run with it. Frank Vogel's going to do a great job, putting a good game plan, and we're going to compete at the highest level. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I like that answer. I like that. So Big Baby man. So my host, Mr. Trey Larkins, he actually believes that the Los Angeles Clippers has a bigger chance than the Lakers winning the finals. Now, I want to ask you this: do you believe the LA Clippers is the biggest threat to your LA Lakers, man?
The only threat that the Lakers have is themselves, and I'm not worried about the Clippers. AD and LeBron, when they turn up in the playoffs, we're going to turn up. Rondo turns up. Danny Green hits big shots, so I'm not worried. We beat them before. The Clippers, no one can stop AD in the post. You know what I mean? LeBron's going to turn up. He's going to show why. He's going to show Kawhi Leonard. I'm telling you, LeBron's going to turn up. He's going to have a career playoffs. LeBron James. I'm telling you right now in Orlando, he's going to do some great things in this playoff bubble.
I love the confidence.
I like the confidence too, but I want to say this. You actually alluded to it already, Jonathan. I was going to ask you about Anthony Davis because we know Anthony Davis for his career. He averages 24 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game. And obviously, he's a 7-time All-Star. He's one of the most talented players that we have in the NBA today. So what is your expectations for AD once the NBA resumes in late July?
My expectations for Anthony Davis, just to be dominant wherever he left off before the season got canceled or stoppage. Excuse me. AD's needs to stop shooting threes, go to work in the post. I know he likes to shoot threes sometimes, but when you go to the post, you're unguardable. Against the Clippers, against Milwaukee, he was dominating. Dropped 30 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. When he's focused, this Laker team is really hard to beat.
Yeah. They're really hard to beat. They really hard to beat because of him and LeBron. But AD is a dominant, like you said, it's a dominant force. Dominant force. Oh, would you like to say something, Trey?
I got to challenge you, Jonathan, here on Wise Guy Sports.
Yeah, no worries.
On the Worldwide Sports Network, man, because I see you and Clarence are riding that Lakers train as to who they're going to win the NBA championship once the season comes back. And I got to tell you something real quick, Jonathan, because it's amazing to me that you fellas are disrespecting the Clippers because, in my opinion, the Clippers have multiple players that can do multiple different things. I believe the Lakers really only have LeBron James and Anthony Davis who can do multiple different things. When I look at the Clippers, I feel like they have a legitimate 3 or 4 players that can guard LeBron James and Morris and George and Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverly. Like, you got so many different bodies that you could throw at LeBron James. So my question for you is, Jonathan, do you believe that the Clippers having the multiple bodies that they have that can throw at LeBron James, do you believe that could be something that could derail the Lakers and LeBron James could get wore out from that once we get back to the season in late July?
No, because remember when we played them before the season got stoppage, they were throwing bodies at LeBron. He went by him. And Lou Williams is a liability on defense. Every time LeBron would bring up the ball, he'll tell Avery Bradley to go set a screen for him, and then Lou Williams will have to guard LeBron and get to the basket and one. So I'm not really worried about the Clippers. They're a talented team, but we can beat them. We beat them before, so I'm not worried about them. I'm not. Patrick Beverly's doing a lot of talking. He's been talking a lot to Jared Dudley, LeBron, Paul George saying they're going to immediately win the championship. Okay, I want the Clippers. I want that action. I want it.
I love the confidence. I love the confidence. Like,
oh man, he real confident. I know. I know a lot of LeBron fans. They're not even talking the confidence that you are, Jonathan. But you are really, really confident in your. Let me ask you a question. Now, I got Clarence real quick. I'm gonna let you go, but I gotta know this.
Hey, you got him, man.
I gotta know this, Jonathan. Is this you speaking from your heart, or this is how you really, really feel?
Yes, that's how I feel. You know what I mean? I'm very passionate about Lakers. I have all the confidence in them to get it done, bring home the championship in Orlando. So
you used to being like getting championships. The way I had the confidence is astounding, man. Like they is expected to win the championship. And Jonathan, and I do agree, they should win the title because playoff LeBron is a different type of beast. And him playing on LA, he make players better around him in the playoffs. And it's just ridiculous how he can just put up these ridiculous numbers and perform at the elite level. So that's gonna be very dangerous in the Western Conference, though, man.
Yeah, most definitely. And also, too, everybody's talking about the Rockets being a threat to the Lakers. Please, James Harden is not good in the playoffs. His style
I'm not worried about the Rockets, man. The Rockets, man, they gonna have their own problem. They got Russ.
But his style doesn't win championships. Even Kobe said it best. His style won't win him a championship.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, his style definitely won't win it.
Yeah. I don't think the Rockets have any chance of beating the Lakers. I actually think the Rockets have a better chance of upsetting the Clippers than the Lakers because nobody on the Rockets can guard Anthony Davis. Nobody. So that's my problem with the Rockets. I don't think they have a snowball chance in hell at beating the Lakers. But I want to ask you this real quick, Jonathan. Let's transition. As basically we know how sad of a day it was on January 26th when we lost the great Kobe Bryant and Gigi Bryant and 9 others in that horrific plane crash. So my question for you is, being a lifelong Laker fan, what will you remember the most about Kobe's legacy?
His heart, his tenacity, his grit, his grind, and he's a tough player. He plays through anything, just like that passion from him. You know, he doesn't have a quit in him. He'll play with a broken finger. He tore his Achilles, shot 2 free throws. He wants to win at anything he does. So his legacy will ever be remembered.
Yeah, Kobe will be remembered as a hardworking, probably most skilled player that I ever even seen play basketball, man.
Be quiet. You try to say Kevin Durant would beat the great Kobe Bryant one-on-one.
He will. He definitely will, man.
Do we got a commercial break? Could we go to commercial break? Just kidding. Stephen A. Smith would have walked out of the show right now.
Man, yeah, Jonathan Clarence thinks KD would have beat Kobe one-on-one.
No. Kobe would have tore KD up. Easy.
Man, look, it gets crazy, man. Y'all gotta put some respect on this man, KD.
Yeah,
man.
KD's talented, but Kobe would play over and over until he won. He would probably fight KD, to keep it real.
Ridiculous.
But I do have a story about Kobe though that I want to tell you guys.
Go ahead.
He followed me on Twitter before. He
Really?
followed me on Twitter, and we exchanged some messages talking about White Mamba. Had to hold the fort until I get back, and it's all on my Instagram. So it's crazy that Kobe followed me, and we messaged, and I'm like,
wow.
I didn't believe it at first because when we played the Spurs, Kobe tweeted, "What's the game plan?" Gave the Pau Gasol, and he followed me. I'm showing my brother. My brother Michael was like, "He followed you." I'm like, "No, he didn't." And he showed me, and then I just like lost it and getting excited, and so that's always gonna be remembering. Kobe Bryant followed me on Twitter.
Yeah, man, that's a nice story for sure. And this one of the things I tell Clarence is too, man. Like I'm a '90s baby, so I grew up. I was born in 1990, so during that Jordan era, I was young. I didn't really understand the game of basketball. So my GOAT is Kobe Bryant. That was always my GOAT and the greatest of all time in my eyes. I grew up watching Kobe, and I seen Kobe basically get better as his years got along in the NBA. Like as they went along and as he progressed and became like a very skillful player, I saw it. I also saw when he was in NBA in the early 2000s when it was more about finesse. But as he got older, he became very more skillful, and his perimeter shot was off the charts. But yeah, man, RIP to the great Kobe Bryant, RIP to the Black Mamba, and RIP to Gigi Bryant and the others that was lost on that horrific plane crash.
Yep, RIP. And Gigi had the same mentality like Kobe too. The same mentality. She was going to be a very talented WNBA player, man.
Yeah, she playing for UConn. Yeah, she would have been a great like WNBA player. Someone that would remember like, oh yeah, that's Kobe's daughter, and she just gained his hard work and his ability to work harder than the next one. Like, that's something like I remember though. It was crazy that day.
So let's transition to the NFL, where we learned earlier today that the NFL is shortening the preseason and cutting 2 games. So do you expect us to have an NFL season this year, Jonathan?
No, I do not. I don't think we will because things are spiking up in Houston, Florida, and California. So I don't expect us to have a season. It sucks to say that, but I'm just keeping it real. I don't think we're going to have a season because of the spikes that's going up.
Yeah. I think, man, look, man, as much as I love football, I would love for it to have a season. But if it's not safe to have a season, I think we should not even have the season. Like, in my opinion, though. But if it gets bad, it just get bad. But it's ridiculous. But Jonathan, I heard that you was a Los Angeles Chargers fan.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey.
So the first game. You come to the jungle, y'all play the Bengals, man. You play one of the future elite quarterbacks in Joe Burrow, and y'all drafted who? Justin Herbert?
Yeah, Justin Herbert out of Oregon.
So how excited he was like when Justin Herbert was drafted to the LA Chargers? Give me an honest opinion.
I was excited, but I rather would have grabbed Cam Newton. I'd rather grab Cam Newton because Cam Newton with this offense, we would have been Super Bowl contenders. But the owner of the Chargers doesn't like to be aggressive. He likes to be conservative. Tyrod Taylor, to me, in my opinion, I wouldn't start him. He's an average quarterback to me. I'd rather have Cam Newton. Cam Newton's ability to throw the football, run down the field. He has championship experience, Super Bowl appearances, MVP. So I would rather have Cam Newton. But that's just how Chargers are. They don't like to be aggressive in free agency.
I completely agree with you, Jonathan. I actually felt like one of the perfect destinations for Cam Newton would have been with the Los Angeles Chargers. I believe Cam Newton would have been able to handle playing in that kind of market, been able to handle all the pressure with being the quarterback for the Chargers. I think y'all made a mistake not bringing in Cam. But if you're saying that, then I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the first 15 minutes of the show, but I'm a believer that Cam Newton and Bill Belichick are going to win the AFC East. For some reason or another, Clarence all of a sudden has this huge belief in the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. So do you agree with me that the Patriots will ultimately win the AFC East, or do you agree with Clarence that the Bills are going to win the AFC East?
I think the Patriots are going to win that division. You know, Buffalo's talented, Josh Allen's talented, but you have Bill Belichick, Cam Newton. Bill Belichick's one of the greatest coaches of all time, and he can win the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the Super Bowl with Cam Newton.
Baby. I thought you was gonna say Buffalo.
I don't like Buffalo. Buffalo's talented, but my boy Vince, that I was podcast with, praises Josh Allen. He's talented, but I just feel like he's not that good yet, in my opinion.
Like he's in his third year of being in the NFL. You know, it takes 3 years for a quarterback to develop, and now you give him a legitimate number one receiver. He'll make a bigger leap. Hell, he might win him a playoff game, man. How big this leap can be?
Yeah, I feel it, but we'll see. They have to do something in the playoffs. They have to prove me wrong in the playoffs. I always tell my boy Vince, if Josh Allen proves me wrong in the playoffs, clap it up.
He got rattled last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Yeah,
but it wasn't his fault.
Man, so Big Baby Jonathan, man. So you in a division with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. How would you consider, like, how would you say, like, not say, but how would you, do you honestly believe that the Chargers got any hope of making the playoffs this year with this new playoff format?
Every time I have expectations for the Chargers, they disappoint me. So for this year, I don't have any expectations.
Any expectation?
Nope. Just go out there. If you go 5-11, oh well. Play next year. Because the Chargers do that every year. 14-2, losing the playoffs. 12-4, make the playoffs, get to the Patriots, get blown out. So they repetitive every year until they prove me wrong. And I almost left the Chargers to be a Seahawks fan, but I don't know. I'm just like the Chargers, but it's just it's just a pain. It's just a pain to be a Charger fan. It is.
Let me say something real quick, Clarence, because I believe, Jonathan, here's what I'm looking at when I look at the Chargers. I think you got to kind of give the Chargers kind of the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the city of Los Angeles, we think about the Lakers, we think about the Dodgers, we think about the Trojans, we think about UCLA Bruins. It's so many teams that we think about. The Rams, hell, now the Clippers. It's so many teams that we think about before we get to your Los Angeles Chargers. I actually believe it was a mistake for your owner to take the Chargers to LA. I think you should have stayed in San Diego, in my personal opinion. Do you believe that that's part of the reason why they are struggling in ticket sales as well?
Yes, I agree 100% about Chargers should have stayed in San Diego. They should have stayed in San Diego. We had fans, we had crowd going, but Dean Spanos didn't want to build a new stadium. He'd rather go share it with the Rams owner. So come on, man. It's like, but I'm gonna give the Chargers no expectation to see what happens. Because I get excited. Yay, we're gonna do this, and I'm like, missed the playoffs. Here we go. So it's like,
Hey, at least you got playoff wins, I can say.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if we lose on opening night. I wouldn't be surprised if your quarterback, Joe Burrow, has a career game against us. Anytime we play some rookie quarterback, they get off. Just like that quarterback from Denver, Drew Lock, he started, got off. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has a career game against the Chargers.
Don't forget though, big baby, your Chargers, they had a moment here at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati a few years ago. And I know Clarence gonna remember what I'm talking about.
I know you were about to bring that up. Yeah.
They rolled into Paul Brown Stadium and they beat the Bengals, who were favorite at that particular time. So your Chargers have had some decent moments in the playoffs.
Yeah, but we end up, yeah.
I can't believe you brought that up, man. That was a painful playoff game, man.
But
y'all was supposed to win that game, Clarence.
we lost to a snowman of Phillip Rivers that was playing horrible that game, man. Ridiculous, man. I don't know they brought that game up, man. They just
You know what? That leads me to my next question for Jonathan, Clarence. So Phillip Rivers, he had his last season with the Chargers last year. And overall, he has 397 career touchdown passes, 198 interceptions. Do you feel like Phillip Rivers underachieved in his career with the Los Angeles Chargers?
Yes, he did, because he didn't bring a Super Bowl. That's just how I feel, man. Because there'll be times where he's feeling it, and then he'll just chuck it, throw it, and I'm like, why'd you throw that? And then, I don't know, sometimes Phillip Rivers would make boneheaded decisions in crunch time. He really would. He's like the Tony Romo on our team. He's like Tony Romo.
Don't compare him to Tony Romo, big baby. Now, Tony Romo. Listen, Tony Romo has tremendous talent, but Phillip Rivers has accomplished more than Tony Romo.
Mm-hmm. But that's just how I feel. When it comes to playoffs, he doesn't execute down the stretch in big games. I see it time and time again against the Jets, against the Patriots, we beat the Ravens, but he's struggling earlier in that game. But overall, Phillip Rivers, I'm not surprised that he's left, but I feel like he's going to turn up in Indianapolis. You know what I mean? Anytime a player leaves the Chargers, they do better. I'm just keeping it real. I noticed that. Michael Turner, Eric Weddle, Vincent Jackson. So LT, when he left, he went to the Jets and he did good. So
man, look, maybe it's time for maybe Melvin Gordon might do great in Denver.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon too.
Alex Austin Eckler, he might have a downfall season.
But even Melvin Gordon agreed with me, because I tagged on Twitter saying the Chargers owner should pay you more, and he agreed with me about the Chargers being conservative when it comes to free agents. He liked my comment.
Yeah, that's going into my next question. Like, it just seems like the owner for the Chargers, he doesn't want to win, and y'all selecting Justin Herbert, and the Chargers got a nice foundation over there. I'm gonna just say this: the Chargers got a nice foundation. I like Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. I love the two tandems there, man. I love the two tandems right there. Like, them are two receivers that can line up anywhere and line up anywhere. So yeah. And Tyrod, my bad, Trey. What you about to say?
Go ahead. Go ask your question. What you got?
No, you can go. You go.
Do you like Anthony Lynn as a head coach for your Chargers, big baby?
Most definitely. Love his passion, love his hustle. Like, just love the way he preaches, the way he coaches, Every time, like, we lose, he preaches, like, that motivational type of speech, And if I have a feeling, but here's the thing about Dean Spanos, I have a feeling he's going, like, if we go 0-5, he might make a panic move and fire Anthony Lynn, because he's done that before. Firing Mike McCoy, makes a panic move and fire him. Yeah. Anthony Lynn's a talented coach. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's very talented.
Yeah, I agree with you. So let's lead into my next question. Should the LA Chargers sign Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, I think he should. I think the Chargers should sign him, give him an opportunity, go compete for that starting position. Justin Herbert, Tyrod Taylor, Cap, go battle it out in training camp. Whoever wins it gets the starting job. That's what I would do.
Yeah, are you sold on Justin Herbert? Because it seemed like Herbert just go out there and just play, man. Give me your best shot.
I just want to see Justin Herbert play good, but if he's redshirt this year, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with him being redshirted.
I don't think Tyrod even going to survive 3 games.
Nope.
Knowing that they got a franchise quarterback needs to get on the field immediately, man.
Because we'd be put in a conversation if Cam Newton was a Charger. If he was a Charger, we would be getting talked about. But no, we're going to be, the Chargers. Oh, okay, let's move on. So I don't know. Everybody thinks I hate the Chargers. I don't. I just keep it real about the team. I just keep it real.
If the Chargers, if Cam Newton probably would have went to the Chargers, I'd probably be hearing it from Trey. Oh, the Chargers could possibly make a playoff run this year, man.
Okay, real quick, big baby. Me and Clarence both individually got one more question. So my question for you is, before we get out of here, off the top of your head, name your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, top 5. So, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Russell Wilson, and the 5th one, Drew Brees.
Wait, Dak Prescott over Drew Brees, man. I'm sorry.
No,
man.
there we go. Dak Prescott. That's what I was going to pick. Dak Prescott.
Quarterback.
Wait. Y'all both wrong. Dak Prescott ain't better than Deshaun Watson. When did he become better?
See, there's so many quarterbacks. There's so many quarterbacks. I had Drew Brees.
It might be better than but Dak, man, I truly believe he might have a better season than Deshaun Watson, though, Trey. So I believe it.
There's so many quarterbacks running through my head right now. Like, there's so many.
You forgot Burrow, man.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. Hey, he's talented.
Stop. Hey, don't mention Joe Burrow in the top 5 quarterbacks.
No, not top 5, but he's talented. Rookie quarterback.
Yeah, do not let Clarence persuade you to start believing. Don't let him persuade you, big baby, man.
Yeah, but AJ Green needs to get out of Cincinnati and come to the Chargers.
Oh no! Stop it. You need to stop it now. Yeah, you need to stop it now. That's ridiculous, Jonathan, man. I thought we were friends now. You saying, man? If you would have said John Ross, I'm like, nah, which I can offer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, big baby, I'm glad that you got respect for my quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, the great Aaron Rodgers. We actually talked on the last show on Monday, big baby, about CBS Sports. They put out a ranking of top 10 quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers was not on that list. And Clarence knows how I feel about it. He knows how I feel about it, and he know I went in on that. I was because you see the hat. You see I'm a Packers fan.
Yeah.
So I believe Aaron Rodgers is still a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And I think Aaron Rodgers is better than all the veteran quarterbacks. I think Aaron is better than Tom Brady right now. He's better than Drew Brees right now. He's better than Big Ben Roethlisberger right now. I think he's better than Phillip Rivers right now.
Yeah, most definitely.
What you think about that before we get out of here? What you think about that?
Whoever wrote that list should never write again. No, I'm kidding. No, but Aaron Rodgers, man, quarterback, talented, but he needs to demand help. Like, go get me Odell Beckham. Go get me Todd Gurley. Like, he needs talent on his team. But what do you think about Jordan Love?
What do I feel about Jordan Love? No, I like what Jordan Love did when he was in college. He made some noise in college, and I believe if he can live up to his upside, then I'll be happy with the pick. I was frustrated with the pick because I felt like we should have selected a receiver and got a weapon for Aaron Rodgers because we got to the NFC Championship game, and the only reliable receiver that Aaron Rodgers had to throw the ball to was Devontae Adams. And guess what? He still had 26 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions on the season. So I if Jordan Love turns into a stud and he turns into a nice quarterback, then maybe I'll be able to understand the pick. But that won't be for another 5 or 6 years, big baby. And that's not going to help Aaron Rodgers win no Super Bowls right now.
Look, Aaron Rodgers, I'm my bad, big baby.
No,
I'm just saying, Aaron Rodgers' playoff window is nearly out the window, man. So we need to get prepared for. It's time for him to move on. And hey, maybe he can go to the LA Chargers, so maybe we can bring him that winning feeling again. But Aaron Rodgers' window is coming to an end, Trey. You need to know this from your man Clarence Nixon, man. It's over.
But we got to the NFC Championship game last year. But you saying that?
Aaron Rodgers, man, is the GOAT.
GOAT. Hey, big baby, you know something. He knows something. We gotta bring you back on, big baby. But go ahead and shout out your social media to everybody and how they can listen to your show.
You can listen to me on Twitter, not Twitter, excuse me. You can listen to me on YouTube, Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Big Baby Jonathan. Just follow me on Instagram, Big Baby Jonathan _. You can listen to me on Apple Podcasts, Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast, and on Anchor, Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast. And thank you guys so much for having me on, man. It was a good show. Really good.
Yes, sir, man. I had fun with you, man.
Thank you, bro. And I didn't know that you was an Aaron Rodgers fan. We definitely gonna have to bring you back on the show, and we're gonna let Jordan know for sure to make it happen.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
All right.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, man. That was a nice interview that we had with Big Baby, man. He knows something, man, for sure. He definitely know his football. He knows something.
Yeah, he definitely knows his football, man. He definitely. So real quick, everybody follow Wise Guys on Facebook. It's Facebook, Wise Guys, Instagram, These Guys Know Sports, Twitter, Wise Guys Always, and we are live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Trey?
Yeah. Real quick, Clarence, before we get out of here, we got 3 minutes, man. Let's make it real fast. We'll get into this more on Friday. But did you hear Richard Jefferson comments on Tim Duncan? He said that Tim Duncan is, quote, not a first. He didn't say specifically that he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Richard Jefferson said he's on the fringe as to whether or not Tim Duncan is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Does he have a point?
Look, Tim Duncan is one of the greatest power forwards of all time. Richard Jefferson stating that comment is ridiculous. I don't know what kind of liquor, dark or light liquor he was drinking, but he's out of his rabbited mind saying this. I'm going to just keep it 100 with you. Tim Duncan is before we move on, Tim Duncan is one of the greatest point guard power forwards of all time, man. For him to say that, man, it's a slap in the face, man.
It really is. It really is. You said that Tim Duncan is one of the greatest power forwards of all time. I believe Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time. He's a 5-time NBA champion, 3-time NBA Finals MVP, 2-time NBA Finals MVP as well. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 times Finals MVP, 2-time regular season NBA MVP, and obviously he was a defensive anchor on the defensive end of the floor. I think it's disrespectful for Richard Jefferson to say he's on the fringe as if Tim Duncan is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know if he has a personal issue with Tim Duncan or something, because I think he was on ESPN's Get Up and he said something along these lines and Jason Williams had to check him. But make no mistake about it, Tim Duncan for his career averages 19 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 3 assists. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's the greatest power forward in NBA history. I like Karl Malone's greatness. I like Kevin McHale, Kevin Garnett. None of them are on the level that Tim Duncan is on. And Tim Duncan is the reason why the Spurs were a championship contender year in and year out in his career.
Yes, sir. I agree with you 100% right there.
Everybody go and follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_H. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram at These Guys Know Sports. We appreciate everyone for tuning in on the Wise Guys Sports Show on the Worldwide Sports Network. Hey, Clarence, we're going to be back on Friday. Today is Wednesday, July the 1st. So it's the first of the month. You got any goals for July that you want to knock out? Just anything real quick before you get out of here?
I am working out so I can get bigger, man. That is my goal right there. Just to get big and work out.
Nice goals, man. I want to work out too and get in that gym too. But hey, everyone will be back on Friday, live at 8 p.m. on the Worldwide Sports Network. Have a good night.
Bye.